talked to Florida Man about that list that he had. Because he was railing about this person with this list. And I said, did you tell Florida Man the same thing? And immediately it's, you're obsessed with him. You're obsessed with him. You need to stop this. And I said, well, sweet and lovable. And you're obsessed with him. I said, no, just answer the question. I said, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you're complaining about a list, yet you support somebody that had a list. So, of course, it went into, oh, you shamed somebody with a disability. Oh, you did this. And I said, just answer the question. And he wouldn't answer. And they wouldn't let me in a box, which I totally respect, because they said it's not a drama thing over there. It's a safe place, and that's fine. So I said to 50, I said, I will go live. Why don't you come over and we can talk about it? I guarantee you he won't come over. But I thought I'd come over on live to see if he has the balls to come over, because he made some, again, shocking accusations which are false. And I just didn't get the opportunity to respond to it, because I didn't want to disrespect the woman's life, and I won't do that. So she said there's no drama, and I stopped. So, but we'll see. I guarantee you he won't come over. He's not blocked here. I actually clicked follow to make sure he wasn't blocked, and I guess he's private. So, absolutely. Listen, I don't want to mess with somebody's platform. You know what I mean? That's the wrong thing to do. I stopped as soon as she said that. I didn't want to do it. 50 Shades is in alive right now, and he's complaining about the list. The list. Somebody sent me it. I went over there and I typed in the messages, you're so upset about this list. Florida Man has a bigger list than this with personal information. Did you call him out for it? And he immediately went into, Scammyclaus is disgusting. She shamed somebody in a wheelchair. She bullies people, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't want to, the host, who's very nice, said, I don't want to push, this is drama-free zone. We don't do this here. And I said, okay, that's fine. I said, I respect that. And I said to 50 Shades, why don't you come over to my live sometime and we'll discuss. But he won't do it. And he won't do it because he has nobody that will come in here to support him. But I'm giving him the opportunity because, as I said, he made some pretty rotten allegations, and I'd like to discuss them with him. But he won't come over. And I didn't get the opportunity to, kind of talk about it over there because I didn't want to bother the host with it. And again, the only question I asked him was, in a nutshell, you're so upset about this list, yet Florida Man had one that was much bigger. Did you call him out on it ever? So, that's it. We'll see if he comes over. We shall see if he comes over. I can't send him an invite because I'm not friends with him. And of course, now with my brain, I forgot what the page was. No, Mandy, it's all good. I know that and you know what, I don't even want to get you involved, but I would like 50 Shades to come over here so I could discuss things with him. I just, when somebody makes allegations, it's, I would like to talk to him about those, because I just don't feel like I got the opportunity over there to defend myself, which I, like I said, is fine. That's fine. I'm not going to, bring up anything on her live because I don't want to cause any drama over there. So I would like 50 Shades to come over here so we can have an adult conversation. I believe 50 Shades, if I'm not mistaken, has transitioned, right? Yeah, and I respect that, Mandy. Absolutely. Absolutely. And as soon as she said that, I stopped. I said thank you. I don't want to piss anybody off. Cuz I wouldn't like that in here. It's no host likes that when you're doing something. You sent them an invite. Thank you very much. I mean, listen, I am willing to have an adult conversation without swearing, without yelling, just to kind of see if we can come up with an understanding between the two of us. Because, the allegations that he keeps making about me, I would just like to hear his proof. I would like to hear where he gets those, allegations from, and what the proof is. Because, for the past week, 2 weeks, I have been alleged of a lot of really nasty shit, and it gets to a point where you get sick of hearing it. You really do. Welcome in, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Aria. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm just, you just get tired after a while of all of the shitty things people say. I'm just tired of it, and I would like to have a talk with him about it. That's it. Good morning, Tiff. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. Fun fact, we still have smoke haze all over the place here in Connecticut. Good morning, Amber. Welcome in, Pep. Welcome in, everybody. Good morning, Guardians. Good, Diva. You should sleep in every so often. Yeah, you guys must have it worse than me, Amber, too, because you're way up north compared to where I am. Good morning, Promising. Yeah, sure. Yep, Sue, exactly. We need, I'm sure up in Canada it's terrible. To all my friends here from Canada, from what I'm understanding, a lot of the wildfires are in unpopulated areas, right? It's it's up north. It's up north more. Is that true? Diva, no. I think like 2 or 3 weeks, Diva, here. Well, I mean, I guess that's good. I guess that it's not in populated areas. Oh, really? Hawkster. Yeah, the more south you are here in the States, the earlier school starts. But what is it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks here? Although I'm going to say my wife is in denial. Yeah. So, I think I know some of the southern states have started school already. Honestly, when I was teaching, I liked the summers, but I actually kind of liked going back to school because I was much better on a schedule. Do people always say about teachers that, oh, well, they only work for, 9 months out of the year, 9.5 months out of the year, and then they have the whole summer off and they get paid. That's why people go into teaching. Do you know my first year of teaching, I didn't even realize that I was going to get paid through the summer? I didn't even realize that. I mean, I'm sure in my head I knew that, but it wasn't like a factor in my decision on becoming a teacher. And I remember that first summer when I was getting I got my first paycheck, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm reading the comments here. Right here, Jeannie. Yep. AG teacher for 21 years. I'm telling you, more schools have to offer agriculture. They have to offer home ec. They have to offer. I've always thought that kids need basic skills in certain things when they get out of high school, and I am an absolute proponent of teaching kids basic stuff, budgeting. When we used to do wood shop, metal shop, in high school they do automotive, they do electrical, I think that all kids need to have those skills, There are, too many kids that have gone through, public schools, and they get out and they're lacking a lot of that stuff. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. For those of you coming in, the technical stuff is so important. I came on here. For a reason this morning. 50 Shades was in a live and was talking about that list, the list. And somebody sent me the live, and I went in there, and I put in the chat a very simple question to 50 Shades. Was, Florida Man had a much larger list than this list that was outed a couple nights ago. And we know in Florida Man's list, he had a lot more personal information. So I simply said to 50 Shades, did you question Florida Man about his list? Because again, we know that, 50 Shades likes Florida Man. And of course he went into immediately, he didn't answer the question, of course, because whenever you confront somebody and they don't want to give their answer, they automatically start bashing. He said, Scammyclaus is just a bully. She bullied somebody in a wheelchair. She bullied this. She bullied that. And I'm like, no, just answer the question. He's like, I don't have to answer any of your effing questions. And that's fine. But no, I was not vile at all. I was very respectful because it's not my platform, I'm not going to do that on somebody else's platform. And the woman that was, hosting the live is a very nice person. I didn't want to do anything like that. So, I said to 50 Shades, listen, why don't you come over to my live and we could talk? But he won't come over. So, I just wanted to give him the opportunity, and since he's not coming over and he was invited over, that goes to show you how he is. That just goes to show you. He doesn't want to have a conversation. And listen, the reason why I did that, again, is to point out the hypocrisy with these people. And I've been calling people out like that for a very long time. This was just about 15 minutes ago, Raid. You know, I will constantly call out the hypocrisy, because how can you have been sitting with somebody that did these same things, yet now you're going to turn around and complain about it? And from what I understand, 50 Shades was on that list. I have no clue why, but he was. So, of course, now it's an issue. It's an issue. But he wasn't on Florida Man's list, so that wasn't an issue. And since it was Florida Man, he was okay with that. And again, I will point out these hypocrisies constantly. Everybody that was in T's lives, that was in boxes with Florida Man and was laughing along with him, I will call out the hypocrisies that they say forever. I don't care if it's next week, next month, next year. Okay, what he was allowed to do on that platform for a long time, and everybody over there was okay with it, I will call them out every time. Every single time. And you know what? None of them will ever say, I was wrong for doing that. None of them will call him out and say, what he did was wrong. None of them will say, well, I didn't agree with that, because they won't do it. And that's the problem. You know, that's the problem with them. So that's why I came on this morning. That's why I came on. So, what else? What else? I was going through the streets last night a little bit. I'll tell you that if you guys have been following that Faith Langhorne person, holy crap. What a rabbit hole that is. What a rabbit hole. I mean, I have to say, she's probably one of the worst beggars and scammers that I've seen. The excuses, the not taking accountability, the back end money she's collecting, the horrible treatment of her parents. I mean, it is off the charts. It is off the charts. I feel bad for her parents, because, you know, they are in a situation where, you know, this is their child, and, you know, they want the best for their child, but they've had to pull her ass out of the fire so many times financially. They have to deal with the daily verbal abuse that she throws their way. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You know, and as I put in the video, the best way to stop this is stop sending her money. See how it feels without support. You know, with all these people sending money for her to move how many times, and she's never moved. You know, lying about it. You know, she flat out said, if somebody sends me money, if I don't use it for what I said, what do they care? I mean, that's just horrible shit. That's horrible shit. I mean, just really, you know, and I'm so sick of her saying, you know, like, not taking accountability and saying, you know, making up her excuses all the time. Like, well, what do you want me to do? Or, I understand I did that. But I mean, there's never, you know, I'm sorry I did that. There's never, you know, if you're sorry about something, then you just don't do it again. You know, you just don't do it again. But she's constantly doing the same things over and over that are forcing her to catch heat. You know, it's crazy. Yep. Yeah, that phone call with Social Security was a classic because, not only did it prove her wrong, but it proved Maggie wrong too. Because remember, Maggie has said all along, Social Security said it's fine that I'm doing this and I don't have to report it, and they're not going to do anything to me. Oh, really? Oh, really? Okay. Okay. That's why I always say, let her keep begging. Let her keep begging. Keep sending money to her. Because the more money she gets, it's more days in prison. Who is this, Faith or Maggie? Faith Langhorne is a young lady who is disabled that lives with her parents. And she has been scamming people for a very long time on this app. You know, living with her parents, asking for money on TikTok and behind the scenes. The biggest, for me, the biggest atrocity is collecting thousands of dollars to move, and then she doesn't move and she uses the money on other stuff. She is in debt because she buys a lot of shit, from what I understand, on Amazon, and to try to be popular, she gifts a lot of people, big gifts. So her money's going for alternate reasons than what she's collecting from. Maggie has been doing this for years on all different platforms. Maggie is on SSI. She gets a check every month that covers her rent, covers her bills. She also gets food stamps. She gets health care and all that. But what Maggie likes to do is Maggie has learned that if she uses her Social Security check for her concerts, for her events, for her travel, and then she comes on and she begs for money to pay her bills because she spent that money, people still send her money for that. And she's been doing this for a long time. This girl travels more than all of us combined every year. She lies to people. She scams people. I mean, there's been proof that her mods get a cut of the money. She uses other people's financial apps to collect money on. In turn, they are absolutely laundering money. So it's a wide web. It's a wide web. Yeah, Maggie likes to play more intellectually disabled than she is in certain circumstances, so people feel sorry for her and maybe she can get more out of them. I've seen her do it in restaurants. I've seen her do it in grocery stores. Anywhere where she thinks that she might be able to get something free, she will use that. Maggie knows exactly what she's doing. Maggie knows exactly that what she's doing is illegal. Maggie is calculated. She's manipulative. And her day's gonna come because if you're defrauding the government of $100 here, $100 there, chances are they're not going to do anything. But when we're talking over $100,000, you figure over the past 4 or 5 years, yeah, things are going to happen. Hello. So yeah, she's horrible. She is horrible. She slept at the concert. I don't know. I don't know. Her day is going to come. So, does anybody have any questions, comments? I am assuming that Faith has, Scamsim has Faith Lives on YouTube. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I know. She's denying that there was a court case against her. I went in there a couple nights ago and asked her about it, and she said that, you know, she's not going to be found guilty of anything. Haha. You guys can, keep trying, blah, blah. I mean, just the typical bullshit. Good morning, Sass. So I am guessing that 50 Shades has absolutely no testicles. So, no balls. And he's not going to come over. And he'll probably be at Tease Live later talking big balls and saying, oh, if she invited me over, but I'm not going over there. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, Jeff is out begging. Right, Fleur? Right, Peps? I got that picture from a screenshot. I don't know why T felt like it was important to show all of that, if you know what I mean. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, take a look at the video I have. But all I could say is, holy crap. Holy crap. He was standing in the rain begging? Ay, ay, ay. You look at people on this app, okay? Now, Jeff is a good one to look at. I came across him the first time, it has to be back in January of 2024. And it was with his finger. He was in a hotel. He was talking about probably getting surgery and this and that. Take a look at him from that point to now. What has he really done to make his life better? Okay, yes, he's working, according to everything that he says and that I've heard. But what has he done to make his life any better? To move ahead in life? And you could say nothing, because he's been in hotels since I saw him a year ago this past January. I mean, there's been no change. There's been no change. None. Right. And then he adds a cat to the mix, which is great when you don't have a house and you're living in a hotel. And that's one thing. Like, with Sean got another cat. Really? I mean, he can't afford what he's doing now. Just for him. And then he gets Callie, and he has to beg for money for her. So, yeah, why not get another mouth to feed? That makes perfect sense. Yep. And I do think that a majority of these people get these animals because they know it's going to bring them money in. Good morning, T-Rex. Did he have a camper at one point? Now, from what I remember his ex saying is that... did she say he was offered a camper to live in? at one point, and he declined it. I think it was like, I forgot where it was. Something about that. Something about that. Yeah, something like that, Skyline. He was offered one. Hey, Sass.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, it was his, I believe,
Family members had it and it was offered to him.
yeah, that was a long
Right,
time.
right. I want to
Yeah,
say like, I mean, I think it didn't his wife say like 6 years ago or something. I mean, it was a long time ago.
yeah, and he does have cousins. Active addiction right now. Did they not realize that he had to go get? This was, gosh, about 7 o'clock last night. Yeah, Tim Nash to go get his pain patches, and he needs other medicine. But somebody sent him 50.
Yeah, he got his medicine a couple like somebody sent him money. What was it? Last week, a week and a half. I mean, so I saw a video. I think I reposted it where during the day he's asking for money for his meds, and then he said he was able to get them, and then later on that night he said he needed money for his meds because he didn't get them.
Yeah, I was shocked, but the I got screenshots, but it just I don't understand. Knowing that he's in active addiction, why do people keep feeding him money to? I don't know.
And
It's
and,
sickening.
and listen, the police reports are all over TikTok, just
Oh
from a
yeah,
couple months ago. Now, call me crazy, but he wants to say that he's clean. He's not clean.
no,
Okay,
not
absolutely not clean. And if you're clean, and he supposedly says he got picked up because he was selling, are you trying to tell me that somebody who is, like he likes to say, was an addict? Are you really trying to say that if he had product on him and he was selling, he's not going to use it? I mean, I'm sure there are some people that are clean that have done that, but I mean, all the things that you see about him, just physically and all that, it's pretty damn obvious he's still an addict, and
and
and people believe that he's not just because he says it. It's
right, that
crazy.
just um. Then I didn't realize supposedly he has seizures because he needed money to get his seizure medicines, but he don't have a doctor. He goes to the hospital and goes to ER, but they can't prescribe. So I don't know how he's in. He don't have. He's in Tennessee. Yeah, so he don't have 10 care.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, listen, uh so many red flags on him, and people have been covering him for quite a while now.
Yeah, I'm gonna start
He
going back live. I think.
he
And
is he is why can't he keep a job, number one? Why doesn't he have any money? Why, what happened to his money he earned in his supposed jobs? Why can't he get housing? Why won't anybody help him? Why doesn't he have any I mean, it's all the same stuff.
yeah, and it's just like Tim and Angela. Oh my gosh, I just wanna.
Yeah, that's it. You know what's going to happen though with them, Sass? Eventually people are just going to they're just going to get fed up.
I
you
would
know
hope so.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just, it's going to happen.
how does his leg grow back? Oh, he's a starfish.
There's a creator that has followed him for a long time and knows a lot. They need to do a live about him again because, sometimes people need to be reacquainted with these her lives always start, where she's very nice. She says, "Ma'am, sir." She's very nice, and then as her live goes on and she sees nobody's sending money, she starts getting irritated. Her anger starts turning into swearing a little bit, not bad. And then, we shut the comments off because too many people are saying stuff that's truthful. And then that's when she starts doing the threatening. I'm going to expose you. If you don't contact me right now on this account, I'm going to expose you, beep, 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 beep. All the swear words start coming out. And then the crash out begins. All you MFers, if you don't send me money right now, I'm beep, 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 beep. I mean, it's like,
And
it's the
see, I
same
know,
thing. It's the same thing every live.
and I haven't watched her. She says that, oh my gosh, she says that all the time, but no, I haven't, I cannot go on there anymore because I've watched her since day one on here and I can't.
Yeah, no, I don't watch her. I'll usually catch her replays on YouTube, or if she's on, I'll watch from the outside
And like,
because it's the same thing. Yep, exactly, NJ.
and I don't, people, I don't know, it just, I just don't understand. I mean, I get people feel bad, but they need to read the room and before they just throw money, watch these people for a few days. I mean,
Duchess
what?
of Dallas, I can't keep up with her pages. I mean,
Oh, me
she's got
neither.
so many pages. Um, that's why normally I won't even watch her on TikTok. I'll just watch her on YouTube.
Yeah, because I can't find. She's had so many pages, I don't even bother looking.
Right, sober. Yeah, the problem is she's on for only about 10 minutes or less all the time. And good morning. Good morning, Jackie. 10 minutes or less, and it's the same crash out every time.
Oh, I think so too. Live, laugh. I feel the.
Yeah, you know what? And I agree with that. I agree with not watching her, but you can watch her from the outside. You don't have to go in and give her a number. If you follow her, and she's on, you can just click her name and the live will pop up without you having to go in.
Oh, somebody's
Which,
asking.
what?
Oh, Ruby Jean. Does anyone know where Sean's moving to?
No.
No. We just know he said he has to drive through
He has to
Connecticut.
drive around Connecticut.
Yeah.
He's got to drive around Connecticut. So, Connecticut is known. You got the major interstates. You got 95, which follows the coastline of the United States, all the way from Maine, all the way down to Key West. So 95 is a huge thoroughfare for people getting from the Northeast down south and vice versa. You have 84, which bisects the state of Connecticut. It enters in Danbury and goes directly through the state of Connecticut all the way up to Massachusetts. So that is another, travel through highway. And then the other major highway is from 95, which is like the coast of Connecticut. You can get on 91 in like West Haven, and you can go north through Connecticut up to Massachusetts and farther on into Vermont, New Hampshire, and all that. The Connecticut is a drive-through state. That's what we are. And that's how most people coming from New York, coming from the South, will use Connecticut to get up to New England. Now,
Me.
Sean, for some reason, is paranoid to drive through Connecticut. Oh, I don't know why. So, what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to go, when he gets to New York, he's going to have to go north. I think 87 takes you up north in New York. I'm not really sure of the highways. And then he's going to have to pick up the Mass Pike, and take a right, go through the entire state of Massachusetts. And yeah, so it's actually pretty humorous. If I knew he was coming through Connecticut, as I said, I'd invite him over. We can have a drink on the deck. He's wanted to go swimming. He can go swimming if he wants. I'll even have a barbecue for him, but I won't fill his car up with frozen food. But I'll make him a hot dog.
I think there's another, because I usually go 95, but there's another way that Mr. Sass will go sometimes, and it's up through Pennsylvania, through the mountains, up to get
Yeah,
to Maine. But
yeah,
it's long.
yeah, yeah,
Once you
yeah.
get,
You could do that if you want to bypass. If you want to bypass Metro New York and all that, you go Jersey to Pennsylvania, and then you go Pennsylvania to New York State, which will take you from west to east, above New York City, all that stuff. And that you can either from that point go into Connecticut, or you can go just into Massachusetts. But there are ways. Shit, maybe 2 to 3 hours tops. Where's his destination? He won't say, but I'm banking on again.
oh my gosh, somebody just said, Ruby Jean, he
Just like Callie.
oh my gosh. Oh, but okay. Yeah, yeah, we can't figure out they have FaceTime dates where they play pool. Me and Brandy, they play pool and golf. How do you do that?
Eee, I don't know. Videos, maybe like video games?
I don't, I have no idea.
Carolyn, he wants to be on the move again. He's still trying to plug to get his a truck before he moves. So he's still on that one. Not flat out saying I'd like to collect money for a truck like he did a little over a year ago for his car, but he's still driving out of here before winter. So who the hell knows?
But if anybody wants to help him, he's still wanting a truck.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can't say he's single anymore, ladies. I'm sorry.
Damn. Yes, Unstable has denied financing for a truck. we knew the whole time that, listen, unstable, I'm sure it got to a point where, you know, they're realizing now that giving him money is just like flushing it down the toilet. I mean, again, another one, just like Jeff, he's done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing to personally make his life any better. The only difference between a year ago and now is that his hoopty car that he bought is a year older and it's falling apart, and his ass is just sitting in a different state. He was in the trailer sitting on a chair, whenever he was on live. Now he's on a couch sitting on that whenever he's on live. There's been no change.
His as much as he sits, okay, from the camper to the car to here, his butt must be flat as a pancake, but it ain't.
Well, first of all, I don't want to be thinking about the shape of his ass, but thanks for doing that. I appreciate that. I
When you
was going to go eat some breakfast, but
okay,
I'm going to wait till lunch now until my stomach settles
well,
after that. But it's yeah, I mean, I have more respect for people that come on here and maybe ask for help for a month and then they stop than these men, quote unquote, that sit on here now for over a year and rely on people they don't even know. That just goes to show you that they are unwilling to do something to make themselves more accountable for themselves.
I'm sorry, guys. Duchess, we don't know anything about his father. How old is Sean? 40? Is he 47, 48?
I think he's 46,
Okay,
47, somewhere
okay.
around there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He don't talk. He talks about everything else but that.
Yeah, how about this for a reality show? Jeff, Tim, and Sean all put in an apartment, okay? And the goal is to see who can be more successful in 3 months. Right.
But okay, I'm gonna drop.
Thanks, Sass.
Enjoy your breakfast.
My breakfast. I told you, I'm passing on it
I
now.
can't.
Thanks to you. Thanks,
I can't pronounce it right. Everybody laughs. But
jackass.
are you gonna have waffles or pancakes? And are you gonna have blueberries or strawberries?
I'm not having anything, but I used to know somebody that used to call breakfast a breakfast.
I can't.
I used to want to throat punch him. I'm not gonna lie.
My husband.
Say this for me. Say this. Say breakfast. I feel like this is $100,000 pyramid. Give me some examples of the words.
Um,
I'll see if I can figure it out.
it's WITA.
Listen, do you remember, was it Electric Company or was it Sesame Street where they would take words and they would,
sound them out.
yeah, so it'd be like all, trawl.
Oh gosh. Hey Josh, I guess it has to be some of my main accent coming out with that.
You got it. You could do it. Now here's an accent here.
Yeah, I love Jackie's.
Scammy.
Yes.
Listen, I had a dream about Maggie Foster.
Oh shit.
I
Oh
love
my
her accent.
Yeah,
Let me, Jackie, before you start, okay? I wanna throw out there to the universe that Sassy has already screwed my breakfast over, okay?
Oh, I know. I heard
So
her
are
talk
you
about
shooting for
Sean's
lunch
ass.
now? Are you shooting for lunch?
Who? Oh no, the dream was hilarious.
Okay,
But,
tell us.
I take this crazy sleeping pill, and for some reason, sometimes it gives me nightmares, sometimes it doesn't. So last night it gave me a nightmare, and I was in this shopping center, right, and there was Maggie Foster. I don't remember who I was with. I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "There's the lady that's on TikTok that she begs." I said, "That's Maggie Foster." So I go over. I said, "Oh, hi, Maggie." So she says hi. She was with some other woman, and I tell you, she had a flower dress on, like a cotton flower. I could tell you everything. It was like orange and all different colors. She had white socks on with orange sandals. I said, "Oh, Maggie," I said, "I like that dress that you have on." I said, "That dress is very pretty." So she said, "Oh, thank you." So she's looking all around, and I don't know who I'm with. I'm looking. I said, "Oh," I said, "This store has nice sales." I said, "We don't have any stores like this in New York." So then I walked away. Then she comes back. I said, "Oh, that's a nice skirt that you found." She said, "Yeah, it's only $8." So I felt bad. I said, "All right, come." I said, "I'll pay for the dress for you. It's only $8." So I get up to the cash register, and she's pulling all clothes out of the wagon. She's pulling socks and jeans. I said, and I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm not paying for all that stuff." I said, "I offered to pay for the skirt $8. I said, I'm not paying for all this other shit you got." And then my alarm went off and I got up. So I don't know what the end of the story was.
Even in your dreams, she's scamming people.
So, Jackie,
Hey,
you
why?
said wagon.
The
I said
cart, yeah.
wagon?
A
Yeah,
cart.
so when you go into a store like the Walmart,
Oh, the
grocery store,
card. I meant the
This is how effing sad it is, okay? Here we are, women of a certain age. Okay, we could be dreaming about lots of stuff. You could be dreaming about Frank Sinatra, Tony
Yeah,
Bennett.
really. I could be
You
dreaming about a man. I got to be dreaming
you could
about
be
Maggie
dreaming about
Foster.
that shit, okay? And what are you dreaming about? Maggie Foster.
But it was when I tell you it was so real, like, so I was willing to pay for the $8 skirt. It was a skirt. I said, "Oh, that's cute. I'll pay." When she starts pulling all these clothes out of the wagon, I'm not paying for all this shit. I said, "I offered to pay for a skirt. I'm
Right.
not paying for all this." And then after that, my alarm went off and I woke up. So I don't know what
Isn't
happened to the
isn't
dream.
that funny? It's I've had that happen before too.
Yeah. It was so real. That's that crazy. I take that, oh, what the hell? The trazodone
Uh,
to go to sleep. But normally I don't take a whole pill because it does give me. Sometimes it gives me. So I only take a half. So I took a half last night. I don't know. I had crazy dreams. The only one I remember is Maggie because she was real. I mean, it was real. She had her glasses on, her short hair, with her earrings, but somebody else was with her. I don't know who the woman was. And when I said, "Oh, Maggie, you look so cute in that dress," the woman with her said, "Oh, Maggie, you look so cute in that dress." Like she mimicked what I said.
yeah, yeah.
And then I woke up.
Wow. I'm
After-
sorry. I'm sorry that these people are now not only taking up your waking moments, but now they're taking up your sleeping
My
moments.
dreams. Could you imagine? I was like, oh God, this is a nightmare. I wanted to tell my sister, but she don't know who Maggie Foster is anyway. I just had to drop her off at the vet because her cat isn't doing
Wait, you
good.
have to drop your sister off at the vet?
Yeah, with her cat.
What's wrong with her?
I gotta drop her off somewhere, that girl. Had to bring her in right away for her cat because her cat is in kidney failure.
Oh,
Yeah, so I figured let me come home, walk my dogs, feed them, and then call her to see, what they're doing, if they're keeping him or what they got to do. So I saw
Jackie,
you were on. What
Jackie,
happened?
when do you start back at school?
Well, I could go back the last 2 weeks in August, but it doesn't pay for me because I can't discharge anybody. I can't discharge until those kids. I got to make sure those kids are in place in their new schools.
Right. So you're going back to work this year, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
What am I
and
going to do home? I'm so bored staying home.
I know the feeling. There are some days where I'm like that, absolutely.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
the regular school year, most schools in New York, do they start after Labor Day?
they start 3 days. Labor Day's on a Monday. They come back on September 4th, a Thursday.
Okay, so they start after. Yep.
Yeah, they start after. Yeah, yeah. But the staff could go in. I mean, I could go in 2 weeks before. I did that last year, and then when I went in, I said, "What good is coming in? I can't discharge anybody."
Now, by discharging, what do you mean by that?
When the kids move to different states, I got to
Right. Oh,
verify
so
that.
you do all those files for them.
Yeah, yeah. So I got to
Okay.
verify that they're in the school. I got to send over their health records. I fax over their health records if they got any report cards. But I did that last year, and I said, "What I come in for? I can't discharge anybody." I mean, I could have discharged some kids that went to Florida because Florida schools start earlier than us.
Right, right.
So I was
Oh,
able to
that's
discharge.
true. Yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, so those kids from Florida, I could have discharged them. But the other kids now, most of them moved to Long Island. So
Uh-huh.
I can't discharge them because school in Long Island, I think, starts the week before Labor Day or after. I forget now. I
Right,
forget when
right.
they start. So I can't do anything with them because I got to hope the parents filled out the form of the school that they're going to. If not, I got to notify the parent to see the school because some of them fill out the form but leave out the school.
Right, right.
So that's another pain in the ass because now you got to go searching for the parent.
Oh yeah, it's hard. I've seen it firsthand. With people that work in the administrative offices.
The area is considered the best school district to get into.
Right, and you have a lot of people that will illegally enroll their kids,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
saying that they live in town, but what in actuality they do is they have
Right.
an uncle. They have an uncle or aunt that lives
Yeah,
in
exactly.
town,
That's what
and
they
they'll
do.
say, yeah, they'll say, oh well, the child is living with family in town here and is
Yeah.
transferring over to the school
Yeah, they
district.
do the same thing to us over here too. They bring in, but we ask for the lease to see the apartment,
Yeah,
the electric bill, their
yeah.
driver's license, and and then we have a lot of kids that in the middle of the school year took. They got to go back into the system
Right,
because
right,
they were gone so long. So now you got to put them back in the system, because they're zoned for that school. So you have
right.
to put them back in the system to re-register them again. Because that's a long time to leave. We got some kids that are gone from February.
Yep.
Like they just pick them up and just go.
I hear you. And one of the things that people that don't know about school systems, when you get kids in from foreign countries,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about kids that don't speak any English.
Right,
Okay.
right, right. We get a lot of them
Does
by us.
everybody realize in this live that if you're a public school and you get a student in from another country that can't speak English, do
Right,
you know
right.
that by law the town has got to pay to have somebody work with that student that is bilingual in their language and in English, and
Oh,
and
see.
the town has to pay for that.
Oh, see, by us, they get the ESL. Nobody pays for it. The Board of Ed
Oh,
gives it to them.
yep.
They get English as a second language, but
They
they
do
don't pay.
get that. They do
Yeah,
get that
yeah, they
too.
get
But
English as a second. But half the time, I never see these poor kids getting pulled out.
right, right,
So some of them are there. A good couple of years. Whether or not they could really speak, who knows? Because when I ask them, they say they just look at me.
right,
So
right.
I don't know. If they really understand. So then we have to get either Korean or Mandarin or one of those teachers to come down.
Yep.
And speak to them. But a lot of them come, like you said. Matter of fact, there's two little twin boys in the school. One was raised by the grandmother, and the other one was raised by the mother, which was kind of weird. They don't speak any English when they have to take them out. They have to sign the book, the time and the class that they're in, if they're taking them out early, if they're taking them for a doctor's visit. So it's a lot of time, it's hard for them. But thank God the kids speak English, so they explain it to their grandparents.
Right, right. Yeah, that's I've seen that a lot too.
Yeah, so they explain it to them, and they're very nice. I mean, the parents are very nice. The kids are very rude. I'm going to tell you that right now. They are very, very rude.
Hmm.
Rude,
Yeah,
which I'm surprised because, the Koreans are not rude.
yeah.
But the kids are rude. Their parents are very, very nice, but the kids are very. That's all the way
Um,
down, like 40-something street, all the way down.
how's the water temperature right now?
The water is warm, but I don't
Yeah.
understand where all these sharks are coming from.
Well, it's because the water's warm. I mean, we always have the problem. When we go up to the Cape every summer,
Oh yeah, yeah.
as that water gets warmer, they all start migrating up north more. So,
I mean, we used to
what
see
is?
a lot of dolphins, but
Yeah,
all of a sudden, every time we go there, they're blowing the. And these people don't even realize it. Like the lifeguards were blowing the whistle so bad, and people are still in the water. So finally, one lifeguard put the fins over her head to let them know there was a shark. Then you saw how fast they came out of the water.
right, right. Did are they great whites or what are they?
Now, I don't know. The lifeguard, they have the drones flying around. One was by 105th Street, and the other drone was by like 108. So they were flying, but they don't tell you. They just see them in the water. They see
Right.
their little fins up. And then when the lifeguards go back on the bench, then that means you could go back in the water.
Hey, maybe go up to the shark like you did to Maggie and say, "Hey, listen, I'll buy you some fish."
I'm like, oh my God, these houses don't belong here. They belong somewhere in Long Island.
Yeah, no, it's you cannot where I live, you cannot be a first time homeowner and get your first house
Right,
here.
yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Connecticut's
Unbelievable.
expensive. Massachusetts ain't cheap either.
No, no.
Unless you go down south. Because my girlfriend was in Florida, and she couldn't afford the homeowners insurance no more, so she went to South Carolina.
Yeah.
She went there. She wanted me to. I said, I'm not leaving New York. I'm staying right where I am. I
I am
got my.
so I am so jealous, Sue. Like I I would give anything to be able to afford a house near the water, like near the ocean, or like
Oh
on a
yeah.
big lake or something.
Well,
But
they
I
have
mean,
that over there in Long Beach. Long Beach, they have the houses right on the water, but they're expensive too. They're even God knows how much they are.
yeah,
The houses right on the water in Long Beach. Because where my daughter lives, she's by Point Lookout. It's
yep,
in Long Island.
yep, I know
So
who it is.
okay, so because she's a resident, I don't know what she pays to get in. So if I wanted to go by myself, I have to pay $52 to sit on a beach. I looked at her, I went, I'm going to pay $52 to look at the same Atlantic Ocean that I would look at Rockaway. I said, I'm not paying $52 to sit on a beach.
Yep, yep.
That one you got to pay. You got to pay if you go to Long Beach. I think Long Beach is $25, and Jones Beach, which I hate Jones Beach. I would never go there no more.
They have good concerts there, though.
Yeah, the concerts they have, but to go to that beach, oh my God, it's a horror. It's
Yeah,
a horror. You pay $20 for the parking lot, and then you got to hope you get a spot because people literally sit like right on your blanket, like right
yep,
next to you.
yep,
At least by Rockaway, it's not bad because you get all the yuppies that come in. You know, they get on the ferry from Manhattan,
right.
and then they get dropped off with the ferry on 108th Street, and then they go back and they get the people from
Yep,
Astoria, Queens, and they bring
yep.
them back to Rockaway too. So that ferry goes all day back and forth. But by the time those people come, I'm already leaving because I get there so early in the morning.
Right, right. They usually go like in mid afternoon and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, they get there like 2:30. I'm already on my way home
Yeah.
at that time. And that's the story, Scammy.
Jackie, it is always a pleasure having you up here.
Same here, Scammy. It was nice talking to you and everybody else.
You have a wonderful day, okay?
You too. Yeah, I'm going to call my sister back. Okay,
Okay.
bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
For those of you that don't know, Jackie had to take her sister to the vet because her sister has fleas. Somebody asked a while ago about snark. Listen, um, snark is set in her ways, her belief. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change how she feels about what she's doing. Um, take it or leave it. You know, there are the information that's out there. You've got information saying that aid to Gaza is going in. You have information saying aid to Gaza is not going in. You have it's all over the place. Okay. My suggestion again, number one, is never send money to people. Period. Never send money to people on this app. Number two, listen to both sides. Look at the information that people post. Um, be as educated you can be, and you form your own opinions. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, I'm basing my opinions on things that I've read, things that I've seen, things that I've heard, research from both sides that I've done. You know, there's there's the truth of what's going on, there's the false information of what's going on, and somewhere in between those two things is what's actually happening. That's all you can do with it. Calling, and when she called homie an idiot yesterday, I knew it was all over. When she did that, I knew it was all over. Of all the people that you're going to be rude to, he's not out to everybody, and which is fine. But well, I am guessing that 50 Shades again is not coming over, which is very sad. But again, it shows you the temperament and what these people are made of. And by these people, I mean people that talk a big game. They call out people, but when they're being called out for it, they want no part of a discussion. And that's what 50 Shades is all about.